Big Bear back at you with a real quick video. Finally over this flu symptoms. Stayed in one more night just to make sure they're gone. But want to touch on a topic real quick. And I'm probably gonna butcher the name, and I'm hoping I don't. I want to give the situations most up due respect. Hambre. I probably butchered it. My apologies. But the gorilla who was shot in Cincinnati. That kid was in his enclosure. Okay, you've all seen the story, so I don't have to go over the whole story. I just want to come on here, kind of do a vlog and talk about my opinions. As I'm seeing lots of stuff on Facebook, a lot of people talk about a situation in the past, things like that. And now I've seen some situations where, you know, you see about these cops all the time. They shoot someone. Sometimes you have a split second. If the guy looks like he's pulling out a gun, it's a hard decision to make, and some of them should make a better decision, yes. Some of them don't. I'm not going to talk about that. That's a whole nother topic. But on this one, the zoo felt like they had to make a split decision. Now, first off, I'm going to say this much about the whole thing. You know, everybody's talking about how the gorilla dragged that kid through the water. To me, it seemed like the gorilla was trying to protect the kid. Everybody's up there screaming. The first thing the zoo officials should have done is try to push everybody back. You know, loud noises can freak these animals out sometimes, especially if they're in a situation that's a stressful situation. So yeah, the zoo officials should have pushed him back there. Now, am I going to condemn the zoo officials for making that split-second decision? No. They felt like that was the decision they had to make, and they made it. It's over. Now, that's not saying I'm not giving the gorilla its respect, because it's sad to see an animal lose its life over a decision that was made that should have never been put in that situation. And the reason I'm saying that is, yes, the zoo's at fault for something. The enclosure. I mean, how does a little infant get through an enclosure? You know, you should have more security measures. You're there, you put it on the zoo, you put it on this entertainment for families. Families come there, hundreds and millions of families come to these zoos all the time. And your job is to protect those families, protect the people that come to your business, comes to your zoo, protect them, but at the same time protect the animals too. I think they dropped the ball, and I was watching the news story tonight on NBC, and they were talking about it. Our local news talked about it too here, about how there are other incidents in the past at the same zoo. One, for example, a couple bears or something like that got out of their enclosure. Basically went into a service hallway. You know, things like that happen. You know, the zoo should, think about that. I mean, it's about protecting your animals and protecting the people that come to your zoo on a daily basis, the families. And there's tons of families that go to the zoo, and I love to go to the zoo. I love to take my family to the zoo. You know, I like to feel like we're protected when we go to the zoo. So the zoo dropped the ball on that. The enclosure should have been better. Now on to the parent. You know, a lot of people yelling that the parent needs to be reprimanded, and you know, most likely, yeah, I agree with that. I won't argue with that. And you know, normally I don't touch on these topics because the moment you do, everybody's got their own opinions, and then it starts fights, and people don't agree with you, so they call you all kinds of names and everything like that. But this is a topic I felt like I needed to touch on. And get my opinion across. And that's the cool thing about YouTube. You could put your opinion across. But the parent obviously got distracted. And all of us are human. We make mistakes. But this is a major mistake. You put your child in jeopardy. You got distracted. I don't know, probably taking a picture, something like that. That's what I'm hearing. And your child got into the enclosure. Again, zoo's fault for not having a better enclosure. They could keep a infant out. Either that or the infant's a baby genius and just knew how to get in. But obviously, yeah. So the parent neglected to keep an eye on that child. Now, I've taken my nieces to zoos. I've taken little ones to zoos. The closest they get to the enclosure is when I have them up on my shoulders, or I pick them up so they can see over and see what the animal. And then they go back to the stroller, or if they want to walk, they hold my hand. They don't get very far from me. If I let them walk around a little bit in circles or whatever they want to do to wear themselves out, I watch them. I don't take my eye off. I don't take pictures. If I want to take a picture, I usually, if you go as a family, you usually have someone else there. Can you watch them real quick? I want to get a picture of this animal. Whoa, that was simple. Few seconds. Boom, you get some snapshots. Boom, you're back on that kid. You're watching that kid. It feels like there was neglect done, and yes, the parent should be at fault too. So now, let's recap that. The parent and the zoo are at fault. Now, with the shooting the animal, I hate to see the animal die. I hated to see, something like that happen to a beloved animal, to a beloved, really, family of that zoo. And I'm very for animals. I'm against PETA, but for animals. I do go hunting, so I'm not going to say I don't kill animals, but I am for animals when it comes to these animals that are behind closures in the first place. To me, it seemed like that gorilla was trying to protect the kid at some point, scoop the kid up. A lot of people talk about how it drug in the water. I feel like the gorilla was trying to get the kid away. The zoo should have pushed everybody back, like I said. And they dropped the ball on that one too. So it seems like the zoo is really into dropping the ball, and they should take brunt of this blame. The parents should get a good portion of this blame, because this should never even happen. We shouldn't be sitting here right now. People shouldn't be and talking about this. Post it on Facebook, and I see it all the time. I mean, my whole timeline is full of it. We shouldn't even have to worry about that. We shouldn't even be sitting there going, oh, cool. People, and everybody loves to jump on something. Some of these people, there's certain situations, and this is touched on this too. That thing that happened at the memorial gravesite for the armed forces, you saw all those American flags were kicked over, tombstones destroyed, whatever. Not enough people outcried over that. Not enough people were upset. But a gorilla dies because a zoo had to make a split decision to save a human's life. And I'm always going to pick a human. And I could understand, okay, that human's being stupid, an adult did it. Maybe let the gorilla beat the adult up for a few minutes, but I could, but you don't pick an animal over a kid. I'm sorry, a 2-year-old kid. I believe that was the age, but there's not enough outcry over that despicable act. But when it comes to this, everybody has an opinion and jumping on it. I have an outcry over that. Those tombstones, over that disrespect to our fallen heroes. It's the same thing with that tiger that the dentist killed. Bunch of people cried about it, but they don't cry about the injustice that happens on an everyday basis. That's the world we're living in. That's all I got. I'm out of here. Just wanted to throw my opinion out there. That's the good thing about YouTube. You get to have an opinion. Catch you guys later. Peace.